Welcome in to Perfect Games weekly college baseball wrap-up, Juco edition. My name's Brian Sikowski. I'm joined as always by Colt Nolinger. Colt, how are you, man?
Doing good. Another loaded week of Juco baseball here.
To start things off, we'll roll through the top 10 like we do every week. The top 6 stay the same, but some things happened this week. Central Arizona lost, which hadn't happened yet. But we kept them at number 1. They're 31-1. I didn't see a reason to really drop them this week. Walter State right behind them, 37-1. Wabash Valley right behind them at number 3, 29-2. Are you sensing a theme here of dominance? LSU Eunice holds steady at number 4. They're 32-3. Crowder out of Missouri holding at number 5. They're 28-4. Eastern Oklahoma State, another club we liked preseason, another club who's continued to rise. They're 28-2, and their pitching rotation, man, unbelievable there. Colt, can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, it's just like you said, it's a three-headed monster there at the top of that rotation. You got Andrew Walling, Christian McGOWAN, and David SANDLIN, kind of making out that rotation there. All of them giving over 30 innings already on the season, and not a single one of them with over an ERA over 2.25. So really holding it down. They're all averaging over 13 Ks per 9 with a better than 4-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio. So filling it up, pounding the zone with obviously some nasty stuff and missing barrels there.
Just an unbelievable amount of ability there in that starting rotation. And all three of those guys, along with a couple others on that club, were on our preseason top 300 Juco prospects list. Those three high in particular. Moving on, Johnson County out of Kansas moved up a spot to number 7 in spite of them also losing their undefeated seasons. They're 27-1. Hard to knock them in CAC for finally losing here in April, but either way. Behind them, Central Florida up 1 spot from number 9 to number 8. They're 32-10. San Jac out of Texas up 1 spot from number 10 to number 9. They're 30-8. And joining our top 10 for the first time this season, Pearl River, D2 school in Mississippi. They're 23-5. Colt, tell us about Pearl River.
Yeah, gives us 2 D2 teams now in the top 10 there. This team, though, kind of in the fall, coaching staffs, they raved about Tate Parker, Graham Crawford, and Austin IZZIO, and 3 guys that have really kind of carried the load offensively. And then on the mound, you got Landon GARTMAN and Sam Hill kind of stepped in. This is a club that expected to have Leaf Moore at the beginning of the year, kind of at the top of that rotation. Unfortunately, lost him. But GARTMAN and Hill really stepped in, and Hill is a freshman, a guy that I got to see last year at the 18U World Series. Big physical kid. Throw strikes going to be into the low 90s, up to 93, 94 with the fastball. Really can fill it up. Has really done a great job for them as a freshman on the mound.
Some other notables throughout the top 25. Florence Darlington up again. They're at number 15. They keep rolling. They're 26-3. And down a little bit, we welcome Howard College out of Texas back to the top 25. They've been in and out a little bit this season. At 22-9, they're starting to find a little continuity. And shouts out to Lansing, especially out of Michigan, 13-1 to start. They're up to number 21 overall. Have to like what's going on there in the capital of the greatest state in the union. Moving on, we're going to stay in the Midwest, and we're going to take a look at the regional bid to Grand Junction out of the Midwest. That's going to probably come from one of Wabash Valley, Iowa Western, and John A. Logan. They're all ranked in the top 12 of our top 25, with Wabash obviously leading the way at number 3. But of those 3 teams, only one of them is going to get a bid. So what we're going to do is we're going to kind of compare their offenses and their pitching. And I'm going to go with the offense, and I'm going to start with what is the loudest singular tool of any of those 3, and that's Wabash Valley's offense. I tweeted last night about a couple of their standout guys. SAVIER PINALES, he's hitting .504. And he's 45 for 45 in stolen bases. Unbelievable there. And FREYLIN MINYETY hitting .510. His OPS is well over 1,400. He's got 10 doubles. He's got 6 bombs. He's stolen 13 bags. He's walked twice as much as he's struck out. Overall, as a team, it's a 1.189 OPS. As a team in 31 games. They have almost a 1,200 OPS as a team. They have 162 stolen bases on 169 attempts. That's 96% success rate. And as a team, they've walked more than they've struck out. It's an unbelievable offense in Wabash this year for sure.
Yeah, and on the mound, they've got a true ace there in Jose Cabrera. 35 innings with a 1.53 ERA, over 14 Ks per 9 for him. That just leads a team, a staff with a 2.58 ERA for them. So, getting it done on the mound there and really supporting what is one of the crazier offensive outputs we've seen in a while there in junior college baseball. But rivaling them right there with the pitching staff would be Iowa Western. This is a club with a team ERA of 3.28. But you know what? They really fill up the zone, averaging right around a little less than 3 walks a game for them. And it's really a deep rotation. They've got 4 guys that have made 5 or more starts for them, starting with Harrison Cook, Peyton Zamble, Evan O'Toole, and Connor McKay. And you got those 4 guys combining for an ERA of 2.59. So a lot of depth in that starting rotation there, and could be something that really plays key in that region tournament for them.
And Coach Reardon had talked before the season about how excited he was about the potential of that rotation. At the time when we talked, he wasn't entirely sure about like which 4 guys specifically, like outside of McKay, who he was pretty sure of. But obviously those 4 have kind of stepped up and stood out. Cook being the Kentucky transfer there. It's a lot to like about that rotation. On their offense, though, they're hitting well too. They're not at the explosive level of Wabash Valley, but we're still talking about a 993 OPS as a team. Nothing to sneeze at, even though it weirdly pales in comparison. They've played about a series less games than the other 2 schools that we've talked about, just a few less at bats for their guys than in comparison. But leading the way for them is Kyle Huckstorf for Iowa Western. He's got a 1.494 OPS. He's hitting .516. So just a pretty unbelievable leader there, but he's not alone. That's a really strong club top to bottom offensively. And obviously, like you said, man, the pitching staff is kind of carrying the way. As far as number 3 in this, as far as number 12 overall in our top 25, Johnny Logan, certainly not playing poorly. They're 25-7. It feels like they're almost an afterthought here, but they certainly are not. An 870 OPS as a team, a little bit of a slow start there to the offense, but they're starting to figure it out. Brent Voth just played his first series this past weekend and already has hit doubles and a massive bomb. That dude's got serious power, serious athleticism. He's going to add a lot to that team. But right now, the leading hitter is Anthony Herron, an 802 slugging percentage so far. 10 doubles and 9 home runs just on the young season. He's hitting almost 400 in a lot of at-bats. He's controlling the zone pretty well. He's kind of the leader right now of that offense, but with some other guys waking up and Voth being back, I'd expect them to be really good very soon.
Yeah, and on the mound, it's kind of a 3-headed monster for them. You got Tommy Ray, Nate Thomas, and Tommy Henninger kind of there at the top of the rotation. All 3 guys giving that rotation a ton of innings there, eating up innings and quality ones at that. All of them with an ERA below 2.5. So, getting outs, keeping teams off the board and eating up a ton of innings there for that staff. And really just doing a good job. And it speaks to their support of the offense. The offense supports them. Looks like a real well-rounded club there at John A. Logan, and it speaks in their record.
Not a totally uncommon thing for the Grand Junction bid to come down between those 3 schools. That's pretty much how it is every year, and pretty unbelievable when you think about just how quality those 3 programs are and how only one of them is going to get that bid. But either way, we're looking forward to following it along. Thanks for joining us. We'll talk to you next week.